Okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. And as always, if you watch my show, you're in my corner. Today's episode's a pre-fight show for UFC 239, Jones versus Santos for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship of the World, the 205-pound crown jewel belt. And John Jones looking to defend for a second time since winning the belt back after beating Gustafsson in back late last year for the vacant title, then defending against Smith. And so this is looking to be his second title defense in this title reign. And yeah, this is a great card, stacked top to bottom, great matchups. I mean, you got Randon Marcos, Claudio Gadelha on the prelims, which is going to be a great strawweight fight. And then you got Marlon Vera on the prelims and Pani Kianzad to kick off the UFC Fight Pass prelims against Julia Avila. Anyhow, so it's a pre-fight of the main card. Let's get started. So to kick off the main card in the welterweight division, we have Diego Sanchez versus Michael Chiesa. Now, Diego Sanchez has seen a little bit of a resurgence as of late, winning some matches. Michael Chiesa, he had some bumps, but then he rebounded with the Carlos Condit win, and he's had, in my opinion, a really long layoff. And I think this is a great matchup for both fighters. It's a big name win for Chiesa if he wins, and Sanchez shows that he can stand and bang with the younger guys. Take that with a grain of salt because Sanchez is in his later 30s. So, someone who's in their 30s but just a few years younger like Chiesa would be easily considered a younger guy. I have to go with Chiesa by decision on this one. I think Sanchez has great submission defense, and he will stick and move enough to avoid getting knocked out. But I think, Chiesa wins by decision. You know what? I'll say Chiesa wins by third round knockout. I think he wears out Sanchez in the first couple rounds and then finishes him off in the third round. I think the cardio will, I think Sanchez has the better cardio, but I think Chiesa has the more stopping power. And I think that's going to be the game changer here. So I think Chiesa by third round TKO. Then in the light heavyweight division at 205, you got Luke Rockhold stepping up a weight class against Jan Blachowicz. And this one I went with Jan initially, but I have to go with Luke. I think Luke has great submission defense, and Luke's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills are very vastly underrated. And I think Jan normally can win by either a decision here or by submission. But I think Luke Rockhold, having been a champion at middleweight and stepping up weight class, I think, he's proven he can go 5 rounds, and he's definitely proven he can go 3 rounds. I think, so the cardio's in good shape for Rockhold. And I think he gets it done by, I'll say, I'll say third round knockout here as well, TKO. Jan has great footwork, but ultimately I think Rockhold's experience pays off in this fight. Then also in the welterweight division, also on the main card, we have Jorge Masvidal versus Ben Askren. Ben Askren all day on this one. I think he out-wrestles Masvidal and wins by decision due to takedowns. Plain and simple. I think Ben Askren's the real deal, and I think as much as Jorge is a tough, durable veteran, he did get lucky against Till, in my opinion. I still feel that way. I think if they fought 10 times, Masvidal would win 3 and Till would win 7, and that just happened to be one of the 3. But Masvidal's still a talented fighter, don't get me wrong, but Ben Askren's wrestling is going to be the game changer here, and he knows it. Then in the women's bantamweight division, we have the title fight in the co-main event. Amanda Nunes looking to defend her one of her 2 belts in this fight against Holly Holm. And this one, you know what? I got Holly Holm by unanimous decision. I think it'll be 48-47. I think Holm will win 3 of the 5 rounds and squeak out a decision due to the stand-up. I think Holly Holm's footwork and movement will be enough, and I think Nunes throws great strikes, but she sets up for the hard and heavy strikes, you know, and she throws crazy wild haymakers that I think, and that's not a bad thing either. I mean, Nunes knows how to throw those haymakers, but Holm, being a world class stand-up fighter, will see those a mile away and be able to react and counter them quite well. So I think Holm by decision, and I think Holm will be careful enough in this fight. Then in the light heavyweight division for the title, we have John Jones versus Thiago Santos. I gotta go with Jones by a 4th round submission on this one. I think he wears out Santos, and then he gets him on the ground in the 4th round, pounds him out, and then gets a submission here. I think 4th round submission once he gets in the guard of Santos in the 4th round. And that's all she wrote on this fight. I think John Jones will get a pretty decisive win in this one, and it'll be a brutal fight. I think Santos will bring it still. Anyhow, so that wraps up my pre-fight show, and as always, until then, and stay tuned, of course, for my post-fight in the coming days. And as always, until then, see ya!